Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it all.
So welcome to the show, everyone. As all of you know, as I tell everybody to talk to everyone within 3 feet of you, and that's exactly what we're doing here right on the air with you all. If you want to get yourself heard on Networking Arizona, give me a call here at the station. We'll get you hooked up with me to get yourself heard on Networking Arizona. The number here is 602-277-5369. I'm going right in with my first guest. I'm excited about having him on. I can't wait to hear what he does. I have with me Tom Hankins. He's the owner of Lubber Homes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Carol.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, after 30 years in the construction business, I decided to get into real estate as a business. So I buy homes, hold them and rent them, and buy houses and fix them up, update them, and sell them.
So, okay, if there's a person out there that has a house that they have that they want to sell, does it matter what kind of condition that it's in? Do you care?
I don't care, depending on some other factors.
What are those factors?
Well, the age and the location and things like that. There's a very large picture of things that come into play with buying a property as an investor.
Okay, so now you said to me before we came on that you are county-wide.
Yes.
Right. You're rated with a Better Business Bureau. You do free consultations. You got to go see the house and take a look at what it looks like, right?
Right.
Okay. And that you today want to enter everyone in to win a $50 gift certificate to Outback.
Sure.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up the lines for everyone to get entered in to win. It's a $50 gift certificate to the Outback. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone you know that would like to get rid of their house. That's the right person, right? Who's your right client?
Everybody's the right client. If someone's interested in selling their home, if they need to sell their home, if they're just thinking about it, I meet with them, I look at their house, I look at the condition of the house, and their condition, their situation. Maybe they need out of the house because of money, maybe it's time, maybe it's location. There's a number of factors. There's different reasons why people need to sell.
It's also cash.
It's also cash.
Cash is king.
Cash is king. And cash carries a number of good factors with it because there's no qualifying. There's no banks to qualify. You don't have to as a seller, you don't have to stumble through having your buyer get qualified. The problems they run into, repairs are a big issue when you're selling because the buyer's lender will have appraisal done and inspection done. And then they'll come back to the seller and they'll nitpick about things that are wrong with the property, things that have to be fixed on the property that the seller ends up paying for.
So how do you determine whether the house is, for you, cash buyable?
For us as an investor, it's just... It's the entire picture. It's the entire picture.
So you buy and flip, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we also hold properties to rent. So there's a number of ways that we can exit the situation ourselves. Okay.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We've got our lines open here. He is county-wide, rated with the Better Business Bureau. He does free consultations, and you can check him out on his website. It is Lubber, which is Lubber Homes, that's plural.com, and his phone number to call is 480-568-6828. And our number here, call in. You're getting entered in to win a $50 gift certificate to the Outback. Everyone loves the Outback. Thank you for that. I wish I was getting one. Our number here here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. So the traditional process is what?
Well, the traditional process is to get a realtor, list the house on MLS, have people come and tromp through your home and do open houses. Then you finally get an offer from a buyer. The buyer might be pre-qualified, which essentially means nothing. It means that they have a job and they have a credit rating. But the lender has not really looked into their situation because there's just too many, and so they wait until there's a property under contract to do a full investigation of that buyer. So a number of buyers have problems even though they're pre-qualified. So you can sit around as a seller, you can sit around for 2 months thinking your house is sold to find out that it's not. Then, like I said, they come back with problems on repairs and termites and things like that the seller has to address.
Right. And also, let me ask you this. This is, I think, what they would ask. So they want to know, geez, I have a house, and this sounds like a great deal, though if I put it up on the market and I'm having a real estate agent, sell it for me, am I going to get more money or not? So you tell them. Not necessarily?
Not necessarily at all, because though the initial price might be much higher by the time you look at doing all those repairs, possible even upgrades, painting and stuff, just to get it on the market to
right?
show well, right? And then do the repairs that they found, then pay the commissions and everything else. There's a lot, like nearly 20% can come off of your proceeds, because the typical house on the market today in Phoenix sits on the market for 60 or 70 days. So that whole time, you're paying mortgage, you're paying taxes, you're paying utilities. All that adds up to around 20% by the time you sell it.
So you come in, you give them cash. Cash is king.
We come in, and from the very beginning, we just agree to a price. We agree to terms, whether they need to get out soon, whether they need to wait because something else in their life is happening. We negotiate all that. We work with them, and we can close and have the deal done in a week.
Wow. So he is county-wide. He does free consultation. You can call him direct if you want at 480-568-6828. His website is Lubber, Lubber, homes, that's plural.com. And you can call in here. We've got everyone entered in to win. He wants to give you all a $50 gift certificate. Entered in to win a $50 gift certificate to the Outback, which everyone loves. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Okay, so it's obviously a lot faster. The houses that are out there that you typically buy are what? What are you looking for?
Typically, a single-family detached home. So that's 3 to 4 bedroom, 1 to 2 bath, detached, not any kind of a condo or a duplex with a yard. Just your typical house.
And it doesn't matter. Somewhat the condition has to be what? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter, because we buy in all price ranges, and we expect to, find different things.
How about if somebody's listening out there and there's a neighborhood that's across the street, or a neighbor across the street that has a house that they don't take care of and they got to get rid of it? They're not taking because they're sitting there. There are still people in situations, too, aren't there? Like the foreclosures and things like that used to happen. They still happen, don't they?
Absolutely. And those are way down, but they still happen.
They do, because people have situations that come up, all sorts of them, correct?
Yes, they do.
So that's why you do a free consultation.
Yes.
And you go there and you kind of see what they have, and you decide what you can buy it at, and you negotiate a price.
Yes.
And you work with them as well.
Absolutely.
So that's really nice. Is there anything you want to say before we go to a break? Because we're going to go to a break. Not really?
Not really.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to be going to a break. When we come back, we want to talk a little bit further about this. In terms of this, you might have a question. You can call in and ask, but everyone's going to get entered into win a $50 gift certificate to the Outback. If it's you or someone you know that has a house that they want to get rid of, they got to get out, they got to move for some reason or whatever it is. Cash is king, and that's what he uses, cash, and he will negotiate with you. He will work with you. He is county-wide. He does free consultations, rated with the Better Business Bureau. Check him out at Lubber, Lubber, Homes, that's plural.com. You can call him direct. That number is 480-568-6828. Our lines are open here. We're going to keep on our lines open and keep on calling. I'm going to let everybody call throughout the rest of the show for all of these things. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out. It's Lubber, Lubber, Homes.com. We'll be back in just a minute. Hang tight. Keep on calling at 602-277-5369. Who doesn't love the Outback? It's a $50 gift certificate that you're getting into Winto. So get 602-277-5369.
Traded it all.
Welcome back. We're talking with Tom Hankins. He's the owner of Lubber Homes. We have our lines open here for anyone that's calling in, is getting entered in to win a $50 gift certificate to the Outback, and everyone loves the Outback. So our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. If you did not hear what he does, he flips homes. He buys and flips homes, and he pays cash, and cash is king. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I wanted to ask you and I didn't before. Why did you call it Lubber Homes? Because when I first talked to you, you said there was a reason for that, and I forgot what it was.
Well, for 5 years, my wife and I lived on a boat in the Caribbean. And
lucky you.
So people that live on boats call people that live ashore landlubbers.
Ah, I love that. So you see, he has money. So that's really good to know. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about a part of it that's very important for people to understand, okay? Because I want to get this out too. You say you're county-wide. You do free consultations with everyone. You have to do that. You have to go in and see what they have and kind of, decide what's going to be a fair price for everybody.
Correct.
And you're rated with the Better Business Bureau. That's really important for everyone to know. He does do free consultations. You can call him direct. The number is 480-568-6828. You can also check him out at his website, which is Lubber, and Lubber, Homes, which is plural.com. I'm going to ask you in terms of the law side of it, because there's got to be a lot of the people that work with you and talk with you and want to do this. They have that. They want to know that everything's being done correctly. How do you work with them with that?
Well, I guess first I should say I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a realtor, so
you're just a person with a lot of money.
I'm just an investor. But no, you don't need a realtor to keep everything legal. What you need is a good contract, which is what the realtor carries in his briefcase. There are some buyers who have a contract that has been written by their lawyers with their terms in their favor, and it's a 2 or 3 page contract, and they try to tie houses up. They try to buy houses with that contract, where the realtor has a 10-page contract that has been written by the lawyers hired by the Arizona Realtors Association, and that's the contract I use.
That's good, because that's what they would want. That
contract favors both buyer and seller. It's been written to protect both buyer and seller,
right,
equally.
You also said on your paperwork here that you believe in full disclosure and transparency. What does that mean?
Well, it means, first of all, I'm not a salesman. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a construction guy. I was in construction for 30 years. As a construction manager, I got into real estate as a business, so I'm not a high-pressure sales guy. What I want to do is show people all the information that they need to make a good decision, because I feel that if they have all the information, they'll make a smart choice.
Well, there's a lot of people out there still that are underwater,
Yes.
right? And there's still some people out there that are dealing with issues that are going through a foreclosure. My brother lives in California. He had that happen. He's going to pass away in a week and didn't even know it. So it can happen to anybody, right?
Sure.
And here you are, you have this, obligation. Maybe you are moving because you've got a job change. Maybe you got sick, something like that happened. And you can come in and literally you said that you can take care of this with cash, fair to everybody, within a week.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible.
Yes, within a matter of days.
So,
no red tape.
Okay, and when we talk about these houses, again, tell them the kind of house you're looking for, the kind of houses you generally buy.
Single-family homes, detached, typical 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 1-2 bath.
And it doesn't really matter what, the
All price
condition
points.
is. But but you'll even take something that isn't that great of condition at all, because that's even better in some ways to you.
Well, the condition kind of tells me what I'm going to do with it. If it needs upgraded badly, if it's if it needs a significant amount of repairs, then I'm going to put all that in it. I'm going to invest more money in it, fix it up, and probably resell it. If it's move-in ready, every house that I walk into...
Well, maybe you just want the money, right? Right? They just want the money. They don't, if it's move-in ready, like you say.
Right, because they just got a job and they have to leave, or sometimes they leave in the state, sometimes they leave in the country. They just need to go fast. And every house I walk into, I know, needs paint and floors, and that's $10,000. So I know when I walk in that I've at least got that. But if that's all it needs, then that's a house that I could buy and rent. Because I don't have to put more money into it.
So he does free consultations. He is county-wide. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau. And his website is Lubber, Lubber, homes.com. His phone number direct, it's 480-568-6828. And everyone who's calling in, we've got you getting entered in to win a $50 gift certificate to the Outback, which we all love. And whether it's you or someone you know, because that's what this is all about. Networking is that. And when you're talking to somebody, it may be that person, but it also may be someone they know. And that's really important. We all know somebody who's been in a situation. And I tell you something, with the economy coming up, we're getting a little bit worried about it here. We'll want to talk after the show. Because things are going to be really happening. I have a feeling.
Yes.
And that listening to this...
Interest rates rising.
Right. Go ahead.
That could spur a whole change in the market. If interest rates start going up, the people that have been sitting on the fence are going to start jumping in and buying and creating new opportunities for everybody.
Well, I'm telling you something. If you are thinking about that might happen or you might need them, at least write the information down and call them, if that situation comes up. This is what I love about the show. It's information for them. The number to call here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone is getting entered in to win a $50 gift certificate to the Outback from him. Also, you might want to call him direct, which is 480-568-6828. He does free consultations. It's Lubber, Lubber, homes.com. Going back to where we were, to me, all of this, when I hear someone like you, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just say it because we have some times, and I'll tell you, about 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I don't remember, has to be 10 or whatever, and when the crash came, my ex-husband was responsible for my home. We were separated, and guess what? He wasn't paying. And if I knew I could call someone like you, what I had to go through, believe me, it was awful, and it wasn't my fault, it was his fault because he didn't take. But how many people had that? A lot of people had that happen. Go ahead.
Yes, they certainly did.
I wish I had your number.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that got caught in some bad situations. And part of the problem with the bad situations is that there's so much involved. There's so much red tape and the banks and all these regulations, and you got to do this before you can do that, and
you're scared to death anyway when it's all happening, which is another big thing.
Right.
This way, it gives you some peace of mind. You have somebody that comes in. You do it totally legally, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, it has to be legal, because by the time the title company is done, the title company's done all their research. They're protecting both buyer and seller. They're telling the seller that the title is clear and the property is clear, and they're telling the seller that the check is good. It's in the bank. It's here you go.
So it's a total win-win situation for everyone in this situation.
It has to be a win-win for both sides.
Why doesn't everybody do it then?
I can't.
You know,
answer
why
that.
why do we have real estate agents? I mean, really, if you think about that, but we have to have that too. There's people that want to do it that way.
There's people that want to do it that way.
There's skeptics, though, right? Are they skeptical? Is that what happens?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. People just think if a realtor isn't involved, if I don't do it that way, then there's just something wrong with it.
Well, we have a few minutes. Why don't you tell them why they should definitely try someone like you, at least talk to you, do a consultation, make them feel comfortable. Go ahead.
Well, it certainly can't hurt to get the information. I mean, it's not going to hurt at all. Basically, if you just stop and think about it for a second, all those people are middlemen. The realtor, all those fees, all that stuff in between a buyer and a seller is just middleman fees and expenses that both the buyer and the seller have to pay. I mean, it looks like the seller is paying most of it, but the seller's just passing it on to the buyer because the seller knows, bottom line, I got to have this much, or this is,
Right. So there's money that you're losing, really, in the whole situation. This is a win-win for everyone. We're going to leave our lines open here for everyone to call throughout the rest of the show. You're getting entered in to win a $50 gift certificate to the Outback, which everyone loves. You can check him out on his website. It's Lubber, Lubber, homes.com. Call us here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Get entered in to win the gift certificate, and check him out. It is landlubberhomes.com, or call him 480-568-6828.